First time since the announcement at the press conference, Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, they're meeting on face-to-face. Presented by FanDuel. What's going on, gentlemen?
It's popping.
How you doing? You all right?
Yes, sir.
Good to...
You got a chance to test it, and I'm gonna test his as well.
Okay. Do you think you're gonna knock him out?
I know it, yeah. It's already written.
Where?
In the history books, brother. It's destiny.
In yours, not mine.
No, it is.
Not
You'll
mine.
see. I don't need to go into detail, brother.
That doesn't cross my mind.
It's already written.
It doesn't cross my mind.
I'm certain of it.
It doesn't cross my mind.
I'm certain of it. There's only one God, and God wrote it, so
It doesn't cross my mind.
it's in your book too, whether you like it or not.
We'll see. Jake's trying to become a boxer, you know, hit, be slick, not get hit, look for that knockout punch. I think that's probably one of the hardest styles to perfect. He's gonna come against someone who's been doing exactly what he's doing for a lot longer. If I can break his soul and I can break his mentality, then I've broken Jake. We're here to take over, not take part, and I have to go in there, stomp all over him, inflict pain, and land that right hand that he says is my only weapon. I feel great.
Yeah.
I'm blessed. I feel happy that this task was put upon me because I wouldn't have pushed myself to get to a certain weight. I would have just been doing what I do usually.
Right.
And I feel really good. So I think it was a blessing in disguise.
What do you think about Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua?
I think Jake Paul got a chance.
You dead ass? Bro, don't lie, bro.
Bro, he can box. It only takes a punch.
Bro, you friends with him like that?
No, we're not even like close like that. Like I think he can box.
Just clean it up after you done.
Welcome to Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Face-to-face episode 1, where the reality becomes impossible to ignore. Jake Paul is loud, animated, and playing to the cameras. Anthony Joshua stands still, calm, unreadable. In boxing, that silence is dangerous. This face-off didn't create hype. It quietly hinted at Jake Paul's ending.
I teamed up with Team Usyk to improve my skills as well. So we got
As you should. You
got
definitely
strength,
needed to change
and we
coaches.
got skills as well.
You definitely needed to change coaches, so I'm glad.
Jake Paul admits Anthony Joshua has been doing this for a long time and calls him a great fighter. Sounds like respect, but it's really an admission. Jake then talks about getting caught and being knocked out by a single punch. That alone explains the gap between them. Anthony Joshua doesn't discuss surviving punches. He delivers them. This isn't honesty. It's fear disguised as humility.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a long time, and he's great. And if you get caught with that one punch, or obviously he has a lot of power punches. If you get caught, of course, he's gonna defeat.
Anthony Joshua says he agrees with what people are saying. During the face-off, he looks completely locked in. He talks about walking through Jake Paul and inflicting pain, yet his voice never rises. He calmly addresses the right hand Jake keeps mentioning, almost brushing it aside. This isn't trash talk. This is a professional fighter explaining the outcome. Joshua isn't emotional, and that's what makes it feel real.
What the people are saying, I have to go in there, stomp all over him, inflict pain, and land that right hand that he says is my only weapon.
Alexander Usyk makes it simple. Anthony Joshua is an Olympic champion. Jake Paul is a YouTuber. In this face-off, that contrast is impossible to miss. Usyk says, "This isn't about sport. It's about levels." When he predicts it could end in one round, it sounds believable because he's felt Joshua's power himself. The moment feels completely one-sided. Joshua stands like a true heavyweight. Jake looks like a man selling a spectacle.
Complaining about AJ taking that fight. Obviously, it's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Do you see something wrong with AJ taking that fight?
This is just a lot of money, just a show.
Right.
This is not interesting sport because, guys, brothers, Anthony is Olympic champion. Jake, it's just sportsman. Yeah, YouTuber. Jake do a lot of work. Special coach, special food, a lot of exercise, new.
Yes.
But this is guy don't have a mother fight. Never a mother fight. Maybe them wrestling now professional, but Joshua, Anthony Joshua, it's Olympic champion.
So how long does that fight last?
Listen, my opinion, it's 1 round. Because Anthony, twice. My fight twice. Jab,
Very hard.
yeah, look. You know, this is.
And still from this
Damn,
fight.
this jab.
Anthony Joshua reminds everyone who he is. He says he's not a YouTuber, he's a fighter. That identity comes through clearly in the face-off. He talks about money without desperation, understanding business without being owned by it. That's the real separation. One man is managing a legacy built on championships. The other is chasing moments built on noise.
That's how I manage I'm not a YouTuber, a social media expert. I'm a fighter first and foremost, but I understood how to navigate my way through this industry. And from day one, I know how to make money. Before I come into boxing, I knew how to make money. So it's always been a money grab, 100%. And I think now, this generation are really showing you have to have your P's and Q's in order, get your money, and also work hard and leave the game with your brains and your...
Eddie Hearn speaks with clarity and restraint. He acknowledges Jake Paul as a professional boxer, but not a world-class one. In the face-off, that gap is obvious. Anthony Joshua carries himself like a seasoned heavyweight, while Jake appears energetic and talkative. Hearn frames it as straightforward business for Joshua. Manage the fight, collect the payday, then return to real heavyweight competition. The confidence here feels earned, not exaggerated.
AJ's going in there to destroy him. Sometimes people want to call him a professional boxer. When it suits them, they want to call him a YouTuber. The reality is, he is a professional boxer. He's nowhere near world class, and he's well out of his depth against Anthony Joshua. This is a straightforward bank job, and it's just going to allow AJ to gel with his new team. The profile's fantastic, the money's great, and then normal business will be resumed in 2026.
Moses Itama paints the picture bluntly. No one is truly expecting anything from Jake Paul, and that alone says everything. He respects Jake's journey and even calls him a decent boxer, but then draws a firm line. Olympic gold medalist, two-time heavyweight champion, different caliber. In the face-off, that difference is visible both physically and mentally. Joshua looks like a man who belongs at the elite level. Jake looks proud just to be part of the moment. Respect does not change reality. This is elite boxing versus ambition.
I don't think anybody's expecting anything from Jake Paul. Like, he's fighting an Olympic gold medalist, two-time heavyweight champion of the world. This YouTuber. Like, do you know what? You gotta take your hat off to Jake Paul. He's done amazing. He's done very well. And even me, I don't think he's a bad boxer. You know, I actually think he's a decent boxer, but they're not on the caliber of obviously Anthony Joshua.
Tony Bellew focuses on size, belief, and hard truth. He explains that you can't skip levels, especially at heavyweight. In the face-off, Joshua's sheer size alone shifts the energy in the room. Bellew says he won't believe anything until they share a ring, but he's clear on one thing. It wouldn't last long. This isn't hype. It's a former world champion understanding damage. Jake Paul can talk and train, but physics and experience always win in the end.
Anthony Joshua, who's now 5 inches bigger than you, maybe more, or 4 or 5 inches bigger, and about 100 pounds heavier. You just don't go from there right up to there. I don't believe it. And I won't believe it until the two of them got 10-ounce gloves on in a boxing ring. Because if Anthony Joshua puts 10-ounce gloves on and gets in a boxing ring and Jake Paul is in the other corner, this won't last long.
David Hay reduces the conversation to percentages, and it might be the most honest analysis of all. He says Jake Paul can maybe reach a small fraction of Anthony Joshua's level. You don't need numbers to see it. Joshua looks like a different specimen. As Hay points out, the posture, the build, the calm confidence, they all stand out. This isn't about effort. It's about what years at the world level produce. Jake is improving. Joshua is already complete.
Jake Paul can come 15-20% in regards to Anthony Joshua. He's a completely different specimen. Look, you'll see what it looks like when they stand next to each other.
Tyson Fury claims Jake Paul would knock Anthony Joshua out and calls Joshua a spent force. But that opinion feels disconnected from reality. In the face-off, Joshua looks calm, sharp, and composed, not finished. Jake looks excited and loud, not dangerous. Fury talks about image and perception, not skill. Boxing isn't judged by vibes or appearances. It's judged by timing, power, and experience. And based on what the face-off shows, Anthony Joshua still possesses all three.
There's been some talk about possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight look. Bit chubby, bit bulky.
John Fury reacts with disbelief and blunt honesty. He questions how Jake Paul could ever stop Anthony Joshua. His language is rough, but the message is clear. In the face-off, Joshua never looks threatened. Jake talks, gestures, performs. Joshua stands still and watches. That body language matters. When voices this close to the sport react so strongly, it shows how one-sided this matchup feels to many. Anything other than a Joshua victory seems almost impossible.
He's got to bet £1 million on Jake Paul knocking out Joshua.
This is what I'm saying. How's that work?
He can't, can he?
Anthony Joshua could knock Jake Paul out with his dick. So if it goes any other way, you know.
You give me a headline there, by the way.
If it goes any other way, you know it.
Teddy Atlas points to speed and inactivity, but even he admits Jake Paul is not at that level. In the face-off, gestures, and Joshua's mindset answers the questions Teddy raises. He looks switched on, present, and focused. Speed only matters if you can survive contact. Joshua has closed gaps against elite heavyweights for years. Time away has not dulled his purpose. It has sharpened it. The calm in his eyes suggests preparation, not doubt. When experience meets composure, speed alone rarely saves you.
Maybe Paul has some advantages. He's younger. His feet are a little faster. I know he's not at that level of a fighter, I get it. But his feet are faster. Joshua's feet are not that fast, closing gaps, getting to somebody. To hit him, even if you're better than him, you still got to get to him to hit him. Also, Joshua, last time he fought was over a year. He hasn't fought. He was basically retired. Where's his mind at? He got knocked out terribly by Dubois. Where's his confidence? Where's his mindset? Where is he? Is he taking this fight the way that fans are, overlooking Paul, taking him for granted? Yeah, probably.
Amir Khan predicts a brutal knockout and openly worries about Jake Paul's safety, and that concern feels genuine. In the face-off, Joshua looks like a professional handling business, not chasing chaos. Khan explains why Joshua accepts the fight. Money and control without risking legacy. He also explains why Jake accepts it. Attention and audience. That difference matters. One punch can change any fight, but Joshua has delivered those punches at the highest level. Jake has not. The risk is not equal.
AJ by knockout, brutal knockout. Nakisa is making a big mistake putting Jake Paul in a fight like this because he's gonna want to see him get hurt. I mean, these guys are going for the money, where really, you know, he has a life after boxing as well. Let's hope he comes out the ring in one piece.
Could I ask you individually, why are they doing this? So start with AJ, why is he doing this?
AJ, if I was AJ, I'd do the same thing, because at the end of the day, you're fighting a YouTuber, and why not? I mean, getting paid millions and millions of pounds. And why is Jake doing? Jake's just doing it for probably the fan following. Maybe he wants to get the boxing audience. But look, who knows? I mean, anything can happen in boxing. One punch can change the fight, but I just don't think he has that one punch to change the fight. Does Jake Paul.
Roy Jones Jr. strips it down to the basics. When a real fighter fights like a real fighter, the result is a real nap. In the face-off, Joshua looks exactly like that kind of fighter. Jones respects Jake's intelligence and power, but always comes back to experience. Years in the ring matter. Timing matters. Joshua has faced danger and answered it. The idea of landing first sounds good, until the bell rings. History suggests Joshua usually finds his target before anyone finds him.
Big news also this past week, AJ versus Jake. I mean, everyone's been calling for Jake to fight a real fighter. What do you think?
And Jake gonna fight a real fighter, and if the real fighter fights like a real fighter, then Jake gonna take a real nap. AJ, he showed you with Ngannou. He ain't one of these guys that just go pick out streets and say, oh, I'm gonna fight AJ. No. AJ is an Olympian. AJ is a former world champion. AJ is not a two-time world champion. AJ is nothing to play with. So when you go in with AJ, have your mind right, because if you can't take it, he gonna find out.
Were you surprised when you heard about that?
No, I was not.
So you think he's going to knock him out, though, AJ?
He's going to definitely knock him out. Because, I mean, don't get it wrong. Jake's smart, and Jake does have the power. If he can catch him first, he knows if he can catch AJ first, he can get AJ out. But he don't catch AJ first. Like Ngannou couldn't catch him first. AJ been boxing a long time. AJ better than they give him credit for.
Carl Froch echoes Anthony Joshua's mindset perfectly. Cool, calm, collected, no noise, no mercy. Froch calls Jake Paul artificial and points directly to his lack of true heavyweight experience. In the face-off, Joshua never tries to sell dominance. He lets posture do it for him. This fight is about resetting momentum and reminding the world who he is. Control brings big numbers and even bigger fights. When a former world champion speaks with this level of certainty without anger, it reflects belief rooted in preparation.
And Anthony Joshua said, Jake or anyone can get this work, no mercy. I took some time out, I'm coming back with a mega show. It's a big opportunity for me, whether you like it or not. I'm here to do massive numbers, have big fights and break every record whilst keeping cool, calm and collected. So chill in it. I mean, come on, he's jumping in with fake Paul, who has no experience and no fights and no world ranking at heavyweight. Easy work.
Eddie Hearn issues a warning that feels genuine. Be careful, he says, because Anthony Joshua is dangerous. In the face-off, that danger is quiet, controlled, and close. Hearn frames it as responsibility, not bravado. This isn't a normal matchup because the levels aren't normal. Joshua carries heavyweight power, discipline, and intent. When a promoter warns a fighter, it's usually for a reason. Joshua's calm presence suggests he knows exactly what he's bringing into that ring.
Like that. But I said to Jake Paul, you ain't in a box, mate. This ain't David Blaine. I said, so just be careful, because AJ will take your head clean off your shoulders, and it's you know, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And you take on that responsibility, and we all have to. So we got to think about that. But this is Anthony fighting a top 50 cruiserweight in the world. It's not something that we would normally do.
Yeah.
But
David Hayes starts by calling the fight madness, warning that Jake Paul could get seriously hurt, and that assessment matches the face-off energy. Joshua never looks like a man overlooking the task. He looks switched on. Hay mentions the idea of one lucky shot, but the face-off tells a different story. Joshua is locked in, not careless or relaxed. Jake Paul and his team may believe in an upset, but belief doesn't replace preparation. Anthony Joshua has lived under real pressure before. This moment is familiar to him. For Jake Paul, this is unexplored danger.
Do you think people are underestimating how dangerous this fight is?
My initial thoughts were, this is craziness, this is madness, you know, Jake Paul's going to get hurt. As time's gone by, I'm starting thinking, okay, now that initial shock is gone and the fight is taking place, if I'm Jake Paul, why am I taking the fight? What's the point of me putting myself in such harm's way? If Anthony Joshua's ever going to fight terribly, it's going to be against someone he completely overlooks, someone he doesn't believe deserves to be in the ring with him. All it takes is one shot, and I think Jake Paul and his team believe what they've got is enough to somehow pull off one of the biggest upsets in the history of boxing.
When the face-off ends and the hype fades, one thing becomes clear. Anthony Joshua is in complete control. Every glance, every movement, every reaction reflects a champion who understands that power and experience outweigh hype. Joshua's calm contrasts sharply with Jake Paul's energy and noise, exposing the gap in skill, composure, and ring IQ. If Anthony Joshua wins, it reinforces his dominance and reminds the world why he is a two-time heavyweight champion and Olympic gold medalist. If Jake Paul somehow shocks the world, it would be one of the greatest upsets in boxing history. But the face-off and expert opinion suggest that outcome is extremely unlikely. Mentally, Joshua looks sharper, hungrier, and fully aware of the stakes. Paul appears to rely on confidence and bravado. This fight isn't just about spectacle. It's about respect for the craft. Who are you backing, Anthony Joshua? Or do you believe Jake Paul can pull off the impossible? Drop your thoughts below.